So yeah, can you hear me better now? Yeah. So at the
Yeah,
yeah
but Zawad, you can just more volume up if you can, like, just to
yeah,
be
yeah,
more
it's
loud
just
if it's easy for you.
yeah, yeah. I hope it's better now. So at the peak of that journey, when we needed help with the web development and stuff, so Abdullah's team is amazing in helping us with that, and that's how our friendship began. Uh, with the publisher journey concluding, I pivoted to being an SEO strategist and a consultant for B2B and SaaS companies, and I have worked with the biggest of IT companies, Cognizant, Systems Limited, Nests of the worlds, and biggest of SaaS like Abnormal Security, AnyDesk. So my portfolio of companies is more than like 100 enterprise companies in B2B SaaS space at this point, more than 100. And I've also worked with startups like Okada, Recent Memory. We scaled that startup, and others that are trying to find a way to grow with organic search as a customer acquisition channel, which is the challenge. But today's topic is more focused on technical side of things with AI and lot of spam is now easier to generate and influence things in search and AI with that spam. And now more than ever, it is important to fix that spam, monitor that spam, and make sure that the website's technical health is better. It wasn't easier in our day either, but it's far more difficult and far more challenging today. And that brings us to the topic. I'll just open up my presentation. So, and I will give you time, and at the end of the presentation, I will try to go a bit more speedily through the deck so we can have a more meaningful session at the end for any questions or current challenges you are facing, and I can answer those. So, for those of you who are new to this, let me just put a slide showing so you can, yeah. So the topic is web spam and SEO. What it is, how it spreads, and how it can easily silently kill your rankings. So this is the agenda for today. So web spam is anything basically that you can try to manipulate. Whenever you try to manipulate anything related to search engine rankings or to drive traffic that violates Google's or any platform's policies in an attempt to deceive the crawlers or users, that's pretty much web spam. And there are different type of web spam. So content web spam, it can be links spam, deceptive behavior in trying to direct users from one page to another by building doorway pages. So it most of what we are seeing today though is content spam. While 5 or 6 years ago, link spam and deceptive behavior was the dominant factor that was holding back different websites. Today, it's mostly content spam. So we'll dive deeper into that uh, later. And if you have any questions around that, we'll also discuss that. And one of the key focuses of these spammers is to basically scale the content um, and scale the content with thousands of pages in the hopes of driving traffic, basically mass produce pages to a point that Google was forced to highlight this as a penalty in the recent updates, and they continue to kind of bring down the hammer on these kind of websites and pages. This can be deliberate or it can be a hacked site that can be used to create millions of pages almost. And we have been a victim of that, and Abdullah knows where a simple search functionality was uh, used to create these pages, and we had like 1.1 million or something pages indexed because we had an extremely high authority website, and we had to work around, create a almost hack WordPress to fix this. Why? Because WordPress has these issues, technical issues, security challenges that allow these spammers to kind of circumvent whatever guardrails it has in place. And if you're not monitoring daily, weekly, all the things, you're more likely to get abused by these spammers sorry whenever they are trying to get access to your site. Schemes and PBNs are mostly down, but this is another spam technique. It doesn't really work as much as now, but still, volume PBN, using PBNs to drive negative SEO attacks is still a workable scenario that you need to keep an eye on. You could have a page ranking, and the next day you could have thousands of links pointing to that page that can put it down. And it can be competitors or other elements holding you back in terms of, given if you are targeting these money pages that are lucrative. Cloaking and redirects I have seen less and less over the years, but basically it meant like showing crawlers, Google crawlers, or one page and showing the user another page. Google pretty much fixed it with rendering of the page as part of the indexing mechanism, but it is still one of the things that I've seen that exists. Depends on the what kind of literature the spammer has studied. Again, doorway pages are another technique that was pretty wild in 2015 or so, but has gotten less and less occurrence as these crawlers have gotten better and Google has gotten better with indexing and fighting spam, especially with the advent of spam brain type algorithms. Hacked content is still wild. It is when a website gets spam injected into these pages, and the compromised sites basically help the spammers to rank certain pages which otherwise um, they wouldn't have. And the hacked content and hacked websites are also the leading source of spam. Again, highlights the need to monitor the website's health aggressively these days. Site reputation abuse is a new thing, mostly what you call parasite SEO, and most of our gurus really advocate for that. So I would say if it works for you, it works. If it doesn't, it can probably demote an entire folder of the website. But again, this is something that lots of gurus push very aggressively. But do know that it's a temporary strategy and you will be biting the dust in a 3 to 6 months time when Google catches up to you. And it's a churn and burn strategy, so you can move from site to site. If it works with you, I wouldn't judge, but it's still a spammy technique. Bit of numbers. So link spam has increased, content spam has increased, 40 billion spammy pages discovered by Google every day, and that's highlighted in their own web spam reporting. And the key insight here is less than 10%, almost in some cases less than 1% of visits from Google search are spam free. So this is kind of how alarming the web spam is at scale, and it has recently increased with AI. So how the spam gets distributed. So we have hacked site, like I explained earlier. Expired domain is another technique. So people usually buy expired domains or near dead domains, or domains that have highest of authority. For example, for segment next, recently were outreached by a certain casino network who offered to buy the whole thing in its current state for 150K dollars, by the way. And they wanted to, since it's a video game site, they just wanted to use it to create these casino games related content and aggressively create content to a point that they can recoup the investment. Casino guys are some of the most cutting edge spammers, so it's no surprise. And these are highly lucrative networks which can easily recoup that much investment in a single month. Link networks again are were popularized by back in the day when it was links were the single most important factor for Google to rank anything. So people created private blog networks, basically a bunch of sites on a network that will link to their own site, and this way they will just increase their authority, and this way Google will reward the sites they were linking to. But Google now studies the network of sites that are linking to any particular site and mostly has taken care of the PBN. It does still work by and large, but it's very challenging to keep a PBN secure to a point that it is meaningful. Another way the link networks now work is people go to GitHubs and just spin up an open source software to build a SaaS site, because there is a demand for SaaS links for their reputation to be cleaner backlinks. So they use those websites to sell backlinks, and this is another type of PBN that's currently people are using. Again, these are all the challenges that the website owners face, and these are all spammy techniques. Doesn't matter they work or not, it's still spam in Google's eyes. So, but it can be useful in certain scenarios, link networks, if you're not using to harm others, especially this whole SaaS based link networks. But it can also be, I've seen gurus like peddling the idea on building these websites to make like $1,000 to $2,000 a month. But again, this is like a 6 months window where it works, and after that, most of these sites are dead. UGC and comment spam is something that was popularized back in the day when links from these communities used to add a lot of power or authority to the website. And it has recently been more popular because of how LLMs rely on these user-generated communities for influencing the ranking. So right now, this is like way out of order. These forums, Reddit, and other links. So, but again, Reddit last week also brought down a hammer on these kind of activities, promotional comments, and all that. So eventually, if you are spamming or getting spammed, you have to be very careful with which strategy you want to grow your business with, because these are short-term tactics. But also you want to be careful on how these same tactics can be used against you. So monitoring is very important. Like I said, scaled content abuse popularized with the AI era. These LLMs can one-shot an article, but that article will usually be average, and mostly your website will create a mountain of AI. So aggressive growth at first, you will see a lot of clicks, and then you will just shut down, back to earth kind of. So it's a 3-month thing, unless you plan to spin every site for a 3 months and make some money out of it. This is still legitimately spammy technique, but I've seen people make a lot of money, and I've seen people using third-party sites, affecting that, and then scaling that content to create thousands of pages on the third-party hacked site. And the challenge becomes, how do you monitor your own website to keep track of these changes? And that's where tools like SEO Repair Kit and another tool that Abdullah, I think, worked on, related to how monitoring the activity of users on your website. So even if a user is compromised, you can see which pages are being edited by the users you created, and which pages are being edited by the users that you have no idea. So, and of course, once you have noticed that, something like SEO Repair Kit can fix these things, even if the links were added, even if the content was edited. Stuff like that would require a dedicated crawler of sorts, so or a monitor, and which points out where those edits were made, because manually it would be very challenging. Site reputation abuse, like I explained earlier, it means you are hosting content on third-party sites in the hopes of driving qualified traffic from there, but the same thing works against you when your site is hacked and a spammer is hosting that same content on your high authority website.
Zawad, I'm sorry to interrupt. Muniba has just messaged like your voice is not clear, it's not audible. I'm sorry, can you be
Yeah,
loud more?
which
I'm
part?
sorry. Thanks, Muniba.
I don't know. So which part are we struggling with?
I think you can continue, but a bit more like.
I have the mic in hand now, so
Yeah,
I don't,
thank you.
anyway. So like it's difficult to track them with the right tools. Uh, so what you do basically, having these pages on your website can slowly derail the rankings that you have achieved. You won't get any notification because this is everything is like under the radar, especially for sites like Segment Next, for example, which already had like 70,000 pages. It was difficult to track how in the older dates a lot of content was published and how this website got hacked, and it was a brute force attack, so there was no way we could have known that we were hacked because we had the passwords, and that was another way we learned that you have to have 2FA, two-factor authentication on, to make sure that no one else can log into website whose login URL is known, for example, for platform like WordPress. And sometimes there are spammy techniques like backlinks and such. And if someone negatively attacks with a bunch of bad links to your page, uh, by association, you will have a large swath of websites that are spamming, that are linking to you. So you will be in a bad neighborhood. So Google basically will associate you with that neighborhood and demote you from the rankings that you have achieved. Again, it's a very slow process. So slowly the spam accumulates, toxic links add up, hack pages sit around unnoticed. And again, in terms of content strategy, thin content can also spread, and you can have thousands of pages that are no longer driving traffic, and that those thousands of pages will drag down the other pages that are actually driving traffic, and the trust of Google and algorithm in your domain's quality gets downgraded, and you get like silently get demoted over as a website, and your overall quality index is lower compared to competitors. So every new article that you are writing gets lower and lower traffic, and the older pages that were ranking before also get demoted, so your traffic slides. And again, one thing that no one really puts emphasis on is if the pages on your website are 40%, 50% of the pages on your website are not driving any traffic and Google is still crawling them. So Google is wasting the crawl budget there. And while it could be crawling the pages that have traffic, and every new page gets your seed authority from your average ability to drive traffic. So every new page gets a really lower amount of clicks compared to before, and it slowly starts degrading the overall website health, traffic potential, and quality. And you are forced to create more, and you get less and less clicks, and eventually you're looking at a purge literally of thousands of pages that you need to delete before you can reverse the situation. So yeah, so you can monitor it in a variety of ways. For example, if there are any security issues or manual action, it will show up in Google Search Console. Toxic and spammy links can be monitored more effectively in Ahrefs and SEMrush, but if you don't afford it, you can also have a habit of reviewing your Google Search Console links report index block and rogue URLs usually have a habit of using search site operator to kind of see what kind of pages are being indexed and have a look at your Google Search Console indexing report at least bi-weekly or a monthly to make sure that there are no unintended pages that are being indexed. And especially for e-commerce side where parameterized URLs and news website where a lot of news content is published, but then that content gets stale and is indexed and being crawled, and there is no real traffic going because it's an old news, for example. Again, once the rankings drop, and make sure that you have you're tracking it in a spreadsheet or href rank tracker or something, and see when you drop the clicks and rankings dropped, and sorry, and tie it up with algorithmic updates to make sure there are no penalties that you are seeing, and respond accordingly. Then if you find any unexplained content changes, make sure again you are crawling your site now and then, and your files are not compromised or clogged or hacked content is not being served on your website. So, and that is hidden from you. And these tools obviously and WordPress plugin will help you find these issues before they become a problem. Obviously, Google doesn't demote you in a day or in a week. It takes a lot of time before it takes an action and website gets lower traffic. So you have a lot of time. So even if you notice it after 2 weeks, a month, you are safe. But 2 months, 3 months, you are in deep trouble. So having a habit of monitoring these changes over time will save you from these issues. Again, what to do when you get hacked? I would say obviously the first part is cleaning up whatever mess has been created and deleting that, and deleting it in a way that makes it SEO safe. So if you are deleting a lot of content, make sure that you assign 410 content deleted headers. So, and remove those index pages using the removals tool in Google Search Console, so they are out of Google's index. Remove it from the sitemap if they are there, because Google doesn't. You don't want Google to be crawling those pages. Make sure you fix your CMS, harden it, have two-factor authentication, change the login URL. There are free plugins that do that. Add spam protection to forms, and I think remove comments at this point. Have a Discord or a Reddit community that you maintain. Comments are old news anyway. So, and if the content was hacked and different paragraphs or links were inserted within that page, you can remove that part, but you will not have to know how many changes have been done, and you wouldn't know unless you have been monitoring that. And if you are not monitoring that it happened, then you will have to really be mindful on how you search for those instances using querying the DB or something, and a developer can help you with that. Or if you have backup saved on the website, your worst case scenario is you go to the old backup and just reset the website. That's kind of a hard reset. Again, monitoring is the key here. And if you have been building backlinks that are that you have been buying or spamming the shit out of them to rank and get a manual check by Google. So you have to file a reconsideration request. Sometimes it's not your fault, but eventually if there are a lot of negative SEO attack on your website and it gets hacked and there is a security warning or anything, Google can literally de-index your entire website, and you will have to file a reconsideration request anyway or fill a form somewhere and hope that Google responds. So let me see. So again, I'll just finish it up with few notes. So monitoring is the key, and having these tools added already in your stack. I mean, they are not expensive. If you're a publisher or SEO who cares about the performance from the SEO channel, spending $100, $200 should be something that you should always consider, especially if it saves you from thousands of dollars of losses or the whole website loses its ground. So my go-to stack usually has been a file monitor, file change monitor. And like I said, again, Abdullah worked on that. I think it's WP activity something. Technical SEO health monitor or a crawler plugin similar to SEO Repair Kit that has lots of other features, I believe, as well. A plugin that changes your login URL. If you're using WordPress, that is a must because there are lots of brute force attacks on WordPress. And if your hosting allows it, definitely kind of a malware scan or something. I think WordFence or something. So WordFence was something that we used. Again, host your images on a CDN. I hope this is a standard now, but lots of folks back in at home still don't have hostings, don't like to spend on the hosting service. So images are very prone to getting abused by the same kind of spammers. And yeah, always have a developer handy so that when it happens, you have someone you can rely on. For example, like I said again and again, we worked with Abdullah, and when it happened, we were working with Abdullah, and we kind of figured it out quickly based on their expertise. And yeah, that should set you, I think, for a foreseeable future. But do not scale content with AI and hope that it will work. It's a 2-month sprint, and 3rd month you would be down. Don't believe the gurus who tell you, because after 3 months you can check their case study websites. It is easier to show millions of traffic from any graph on social media when you can shoot that one up with AI and some good editing. But it is harder to actually do things in a difficult way and then scale from there. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I think we are open to questions if anyone has it.
Yeah, thank you so much, Zawad. It was really helpful, and you have already like walked through this situation as well. You know, like back in 2023, I think we had a spam attack on segment experts, right? And I think we have tackled in a very best way, like a lot of spams, I think, over there on the website, and
Yeah.
the backlinks, and it was landing on the 404. I think that is really good, and what Zawad has explained, and even we have faced it many times. Like it was not, and now every single website that is just a 4 to 5 pages website, it on the internet, that they are using shared hosting, and through shared hosting, like the thing is, like most of the time the attack was happened through search console. Most of the attack happened that when there is an outdated plugin, when there is an outdated theme, or the shared hosting as well. And sometimes your comments and XML RPC something, if you have not disabled that, this is a backdoor where the spammer attacker actually jumped into it and just compromised your sitemap, and you're ranking in a different way. For example, if you are selling shoes, you will see a different content related to spam, related to casino, gambling, and every other things, adult content. You will see over there. So, and one thing that Zawad, I have a question. Like in case if anyone has a question, we will ask again. So my question is like, whatever you have faced back in 2023. one of our partner company has faced the same sort of thing as well. And I think Ahmed Raza is in the call as well, in this webinar as well. And I think we have cleaned it very well. The first spam was hit on November 2025, and they were not aware of it. They were not aware of it, and their web version was working fine. Whenever they were just xyz.com, they opened it and contact us about us, portfolio. Every pages were working for fine. But when we checked that the SERP, when we has done the SERP audit for that website was totally compromised after 6 months, and we have tried our best to remove that backlinks, toxic backlinks, spam content, and everything. But for some reason, we are failed to delete that thing. Maybe Google has cached it. Maybe it would take more time. And I think this is a really good case study to learn as well. But I would not expose the name URL of the website, but I will actually like tell you the whole situation.
Yeah, you can share with me privately. I can tell you now.
Yeah, sure. So what we have done is we have cleaned sitemap. We have cleaned every single thing on the metadata side, description side.
So just a second. So what you're seeing in Google search hasn't been removed yet. Is that so?
Yeah, exactly. SERP version is still very different.
Can you share the?
Yeah, let me share quickly in DM so you can check that. And this is what we are trying our best to do I just message you on the WhatsApp. In the meantime, if anyone has any question, like this is something really common these days, and we are facing this since a lot of years, and that's why we have organized this event so we can talk about that thing. We can add more awareness. Even we can learn as well. If anyone would like to ask a question in DM, we can start. We have already started the Q session as well. You can ask over there. In case you have any question, you can ask in DM. If you would like to jump in over the video call, I can enable your presenter mode, so you can ask directly to Zawad as well.
So there is when you go to the removals tool, there is an option where you can remove that URL, and also an option where you can remove the cached version of the everything. So just try that, it will get sorted.
Amazing. So what we have done, Zawad, that was removal request. We have put the removal request, and but I think what we were missing, I think the removal cache version as well. I think that is something we are missing maybe. I think Umar Chima has a question for a WordPress SaaS platform that hosts many client websites. Besides two-factor authentication and malware scanning, what automated security and SEO monitoring would you implement at the platform level to proactively detect spam injection? So is there anything, Zawad, you can add?
Yeah, so there is a plugin called WP Activity Tracker.
I think WP Activity is a really good plugin to use that, right?
Yeah. So basically it will monitor every change that is happening on the website and send you a daily activity report on who edited who added what, and you need to make sure that it also helps you track back your steps, so you can see what changes happened where. So I think that's one thing that I like to keep track of after previous episode that we keep highlighting. And it also helps you kind of find the compromised user and find the person whose account was used or abused, or whoever did whatever. You can just pinpoint to that point and then trace back all the changes or all the issues that happened, and go from there.
All right. So I think WP Activity is something that can help us. So one thing more that I would like to add, that is the spam monitor that we have developed. And this is what, like, for now, what I have noticed in the industry, no one is offering that kind of thing in WordPress ecosystem. So what we have done is we just need to schedule the spam rating. So whatever the SEO Repair Kit is doing, SEO Repair Kit is just checking your cert version after every 24 hours, and that if you feel anything fishy over there in terms of content, in terms of backlinks, in terms of malware, any sort of malware, so that would alert you via email, via dashboard. And I think this is how you can, like, say, secure your website very soon as you got a notification like your website is under attack. And you can set the different mechanism based on the content, based on the language, based on your links criteria, based on any other thing that you think, any custom keyword that you think that doesn't make sense to my website. So I think this is what SEO Repair Kit is offering as well, but I will check WP activity too, and I think that would be really helpful as well. So
Yeah.
if anyone has any question, just raise hand or you can ask. Yes, please.
Just showing you that removal thing, so you can just,
Yeah.
this is what you need to do. Sorry, this request, and then
Yes.
a clear snippet.
Okay, I think clear snippet is something we are missing, maybe.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you
So
can
I think,
remove.
yeah.
Yeah. I
So
hope
I
it
think
helps.
Umar is on the call as well. Ahmed is on the call as well. I think Ahmed, that would be really helpful for you, and I think we will do this for you, obviously.
I think so. There is also a redirect already in place for such URLs. At least some of
Yeah.
them that I saw. So
Yeah.
clearing the snippet will just kill that whole Russian Japanese language.
I think Vakas is on the call, who is actually handling that website. Vakas, if you would like to ask any question or anything, just
Yeah, thanks so much, Zawad, for this insightful information, and that would be very helpful for us. I think I may have a question that what are the biggest web spam mistakes that website owner make without realizing it, and it may a cause of a web spam
I
on
mean,
their website.
uh, today I think lots of people are using AI content, so it's a good or a bad recipe depending on how you are doing it, and most are one-shotting it, meaning provide a minimal effort brief to Claude or something, and then just generating content and publishing it. Another mistake is basically lack of hygiene in terms of technical SEO, like not having any plugin that is actually monitoring broken links, bad redirects, older redirects, not cleaning up redirects. Over time, you delete few things, you correct few URLs, and all the technical debt gets added to the site. And lots of publisher and website owners don't monitor it as effectively. Our benchmark for usually our site has always been 99 plus health mark in href, so we always have website continuously being audited in the site audit crawler. If you're using SEMrush or href, you can do that. You can do it with Screaming Frog, or you can have, I don't know if SEO Repair like tools would have some functionality there as well. Back in the day, I think we used to, when broken links checker was good, now it's shit, but we used to crawl the website to make sure the broken links and redirects are sorted. And I used to personally make sure that all the redirects are fixed, because there can be broken images, broken YouTube URLs and whatnot. There's always a massive amount of data and hygiene that's required, especially in WordPress. So not keeping track of that is also something. And then of outsourcing backlink building or link building in general to agencies at a cheaper rate, and hoping that you would be able to get some value out of that, is another thing that I've seen people are more willing to do and get really uh, punished because of that. Not paying developers enough is another thing I would highlight here. guys, I mean, if website is your business, it's your shop, and you hire a very low paying. So I mean, I think we always paid a lot of money for the website. My first website, even when we first in 2010, we were paying thousands of dollars for website. My first theme rebuild in 2010 was $2,000. 2010. So we always believed in cleaner code and made sure that we can lead with that. So I would say invest in your website.
Yeah, thank you so much, Zawad. Thank you so much, Vikas. Zawad, it is really genuinely really helpful, really insightful for us. And thank you so much for your time as well. And it's been like a long time since we last spoke, and it's
Yeah.
really amazing as well just to onboard you, and obviously that would be really helpful for the people as well who has joined us. And if in case if you would like to stay with us for some time, we will have a breakout session as well where those people will be converted into different rooms, and I think you can jump into different rooms as well just to help others who are the website owners who are bringing their websites for this event, just to have the SERP order, just to have the spam order of the website. If you have some time, you can stay as
Yeah.
well.
When is that?
Like it's coming on like here, like we will have next 3 hours here, but you can join the first breakout. Yeah, you can join the first breakout after the Miss Asma session, that is right after you, and then we can do that.
Yeah. Ping me. I'll rejoin if I am.
Yeah,
I
sure,
have meetings, but I will rejoin if possible.
sure.
Okay.
Thank